I can't imagine being so pretty that I felt that I was unaccountable to go on a show with 1,000,000 subs, 1,000,000 or 4,000,000 subs, and do no research before I went on there. That is bonkers to me. There's a number of people who go on like Fresh and Fit or whatever, or even our show, and like they've got 1,000,000 subs, 4,000,000 subs, and the girls go on there and they take the same L week after week. Bro, if you or I went on a show, if you went on Joe Rogan, would you not research a little bit?
You have to.
Bro, if I go on PBD's podcast, do you understand? I'm doing 20 hours minimum of baseline study over the course of 3 weeks. And these girls are going on there and they're basically taking on Myron, which is...
Who's a skillfully trained debater.
Debater.
Writes books, reads books on this. And they think he's gonna come up with something that he's never thought of before.
You're invading Russia in the winter. That's what you're doing. You're going onto Myron's show thinking that you're gonna call him out. And I just watch these girls take L at week after week, the same L. And I'm like, I would never do that. If I was gonna go on, like Jedediah Bila, I'm going on her show on the 17th. When I go on there, I'm gonna watch a ton of her stuff. And I'm going to have, we're not there to debate, but I'm gonna have counters because I'm gonna at least do my research. I can't imagine being so pretty that I felt that I was unaccountable to go on a show with 1,000,000 subs, 1,000,000 or 4,000,000 subs, and do no research before I went on there. That is bonkers to me. I get it for like me and Rollo, Access Vegas, like a couple 100,000 subs, but like 1,000,000 subs and you're gonna do that. It's just crazy to me that girls are doing this.
I think it's part of it is, and you and I think are unique in that like we're friends with women. I get along with women. I don't hate women. I'm not a misogynist. That's so not my vibe. But at the same time, you can kind of speak truth to power, right? And what's the power? It's the power of the P that they have. And that they're so used to just showing up, being hot, and the world give it to them on a platter. And they're used to that. It's like, so for me to show up, it's like, all right, I need to, whatever podcast, all right, okay, I hear my talking points. Here's what I know when I talk. I know what Michael stands for. I'm going to do my research, everything you're talking about. Whereas a girl just, I'm just going to show up.
She shows up and she believes that because she feels like her position is correct, therefore it is correct.
But think about it in real life. Forget about podcasts. All right, let's say you're taking a girl on a date, right? It's the girl's job to do what? Show up and be pretty. That's her job, right? And if she acts sweet and nice, that's a bonus, that's a benefit. The guy has to plan it out. He has to, all right, strategize. Here's where I'm going first. I got to pay the check. I got to realize what restaurant. All right, cool. We can't get in there. All right, so I'm going to go to this restaurant. I'm going to pick her up. After dinner, we're going to go meet up with my friends because I know he's running the door at this place. Cool, we'll do that. We'll get a drink there. What's my budget for the night? All right, cool. Down to spend $500, whatever it is. All right, from there, we're going to go to this place. I got to get her back to my place. What's my life? Like, there's so much strategy for a guy just to go on one date, whereas a girl's just like, yeah, I wore a dress and put on makeup.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what you're saying with the podcast. Is Myron, yourself, myself, had to put in 20 years of work to even have a fucking podcast.
Yeah.
Keep in mind. And a girl that just comes on your podcast, why is she on your podcast? Because she has a PhD in something? No, because she's got big old titties and she wants to talk about something. It's totally different. And this goes back to the club analogy that we're talking about earlier. For a guy to buy a table at the club, he had to work, put in everything. Or the girl just gets it for free.
Yeah, the difficulty of getting into that Ignite party on that yacht or to that dance floor table is so much, the journey is so different for a man than it is for a woman. It's so completely different. Yeah, I mean, it's I don't have the luxury as a man of believing in astrology, numerology. I don't have the luxury of believing in like energy. I heard some girls on your show the other day. I was like, yeah, when it comes to guys, I just believe in energy. And I was like, we could do a scientific experiment where you go with your gut, and I will promise you, I'll bet you $100 million, you are no better than chance. That you any time that, of course, they've done studies that show when people get married based on their astrological signs, the likelihood of divorce is exactly the same as if they don't.
Yeah.
Because there is no truth in astrology. Absolutely. Well, there is no evidence for it.
Well, I know this is something you care deeply about. It's I don't even get into the astrology thing. I call it horoscopes. You see what I'm saying? Like but when a girl goes, "What's your sign?" I'll always give the wrong sign.
Yeah.
They're like Sagittarius, and I'm an Aquarius. They're like Sagittarius, like I'm on to you already, buddy. I'm like, yeah, you know how we roll. It's Sages, and then I'll wait. If I hang out with the girl and for a few hours that night, whatever, I'm like, just so you know, I'm not a Sagittarius. She's like, I had it all wrong. I'm like, the whole thing's nonsense.
Yeah,
that you're basing this entire interaction on a time and place and date of when I was maybe born.
Well, they're not even thinking about to that effect. It's like their whole reality is based on feelings. Not all women, not all the time, but so frequently that happens. And one of the things is when I hear women talk about a patriarchy, one of the things that I always bring up is like, do you understand? It's like an order of magnitude more women that believe in astrology than men. If I were to go into the corporate environment and try to say, listen, we need to go ahead and pump up advertisement because the age of Aquarius is starting, I would be laughed out of the room. And then you ask why women aren't taken as seriously in some of these endeavors. I know that if I had a sales trainer who and she was female and she brought up anything to do with astrology or numerology, I would fire her. I would have to. There's no way I could deal because I know that's not true. And we're men. We have to win or we die. We don't have that option of doing this nonsense. I'm not going to stay afloat because I'm pretty. And so when you see that type of situation, you just realize like, and I say this because I have some friends of mine who are hardcore feminists, and I'm like, but you believe in astrology. Do you understand how difficult it is if I want to take you seriously? And like, let's say, for instance, there's a group of purple people. We'll just throw out a race of purple people. And the purple people are like, we don't have enough people in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So you're like, okay, we'll set you guys up. We'll set up programs and give you grants so you can do science, technology, engineering, mathematics. And day one, they're like, Scientology and the earth is flat. You're like, wait a second. You wanted to do STEM, but you don't believe in physics and objective reality. Why would we hire you? Until you do the same thing with women. They're like, we want to be taken more seriously in engineering and medicine and in a corporate environment. And like, but you believe in the 5 love languages. You believe in the manifestation that happens from The Secret. You believe in men are from Mars, women from Venus. You believe in, hokum like numerology and astrology. How do we hire you? And I'm not trying to say this to complain. I'm like, legitimately, how can we work together when you don't have a grasp of objective reality? What am I supposed to do here? You see what I'm saying? I'm not racist. I'm not bigoted against you. I just don't know how to do this if you don't believe in reality.
Michael, there's a lot of purple people out there that are coming after you.
Purple people coming after me.
You're about to get canceled by the purple propaganda people out there, bro.
Yeah.